The first night I ever heard her voice, I wasn't asleep yet. I lay there in darkness, the silence of the house too heavy. When I heard the whisper loud and clear, "You left the door open," my skin froze. I hadn't left any door open. I got up and checked. Everything was locked. I returned to bed, heart hammering. Then footsteps crossed the floor above me, soft but deliberate, like someone pacing. I moved into that old rental house because it was cheap and on short notice. The landlord never mentioned the history of strange tenants or disappearances. I chalked the creaks and sighs to an aging foundation settling in the cold night air. But then came the shadows. On night 2, I saw a silhouette pass across the doorway tall, slender, just standing there watching me. Primera que let out nothing. No reply. The figure vanished. Over the next week, the assaults grew bolder. The lights flickered. My windows slammed shut. I awoke once to my sheets tangled like someone else's arms had pulled me tight. The whispering started Tuma. Names spoken softly. Behind my ear, sometimes several voices overlapping. I recorded nights on my phone, desperate for proof. One recording caught heavy breathing and a low moan I couldn't explain. I started digging online, reading about a similar case. A family in Indiana called the Ammons family who moved into a house and soon dealt with demonic voices, levitations, shadows. Their children walked on walls. Local police officers were called. They even exorcised the home. Some believed more than 200 spirits haunted them. Their account made headlines. I felt the same dread that must have gripped them. People.com one night I dreamt of a little girl in a white dress standing at the foot of my bed. She said, "He's coming." I jolted awake, and in that moment heard a knock at my front door. I stared through the peephole, no one visible. The knock came again. E went silent, terrified to answer. Then the doorknob rattled, and the knob turned slowly, as though something was trying to push in. I ran to a side window and peered out. Empty walkway, no footprints, no movement. I packed a bag and planned to leave at dawn. But that night, as I lay frozen, I felt a hand clamp over my wrist. My phone flew across the room and shattered. The breathing returned, right in my face, cold and ragged. I closed my eyes, said a prayer. When I opened them, I expected to see a face. Instead, I saw what looked like hundreds of eyes glinting in darkness all around me, floating, watching. Morning came. I fled, never looked back. A few days later, I checked the property listing and discovered the landlord had vanished months ago. The house had been foreclosed years before I rented it. Neighbors claimed no one had lived there lately, but I had keys. That's how I got in. I deleted every recording I made. I told no one until now. But last night, I got a text from my old phone number. The message: "You left the door open." 1. https://people.com/The Deliverance True Story Netflix -8,706,327. UTM_source equals chatgpt.com is The Deliverance based on a true story. All about the haunting events that inspired the film.